Welcome to the Standard 12, dear students. Let's begin with the bookkeeping and accountancy for the academic year 2020-21. In bookkeeping and accountancy, as per the new syllabus of the HSC board, we are having the 10 chapters. First one is the introduction to the partnership and partnership final account. Second is the account for the not-for-profit concern. Third is the reconstitution of the partnership, admission of partner. Fourth is the reconstitution of the partnership, retirement of partner. Fifth is the reconstitution of the partnership, death of the partner. Sixth is the dissolution of the partnership firm. Seventh is the bills of exchange. Eighth is the company account, issue of shares. Ninth is the analysis of the financial statement. And the 10th is the constraint accountancy. That is the accounting. In total, we are going to study about the 10 chapters during this academic year. From 1 to 6, if you can see carefully, is related to the partnership final account except the chapter number 2. So partnership firms account is very important. So let's begin with the chapter number 1, introduction to the partnership and partnership final account. Sole trading concern was having the varieties of limitation as we studied in the last year accounts also. Final account of the sole trader, one person was managing the business. He is only the one who is going to bring the capital, manage the business, having the limited amount of specialization. So there are the certain limitations with the sole trading concern, such as the limited capital, limited managerial ability, unlimited liability, no stability, absence of specialization. To overcome from that, the people have decided to come together to bring the more amount of capital, to share the profit and losses, to run the business. And as per that, there should be, through the mutual understanding or relationship between them, they can enter into the agreement, and through that agreement they become the partners, and whatever business they start, that is known as the partnership, and all together is known as the partnership firm. Means that due to the certain limitation of the sole trading concern, people decided to form the organization where they can share the risk and the profit, where they can start the business on a little big larger scale, or they can bring the more amount of capital. So they have decided among themselves through the mutual understanding, and through the mutual understanding they will prepare agreement, and through agreement they start the business, that is known as the partnership. And those who enter into the agreement, they are known as the partners, and all together that is a partnership and partners, both collectively known as the firm. Meaning and definition of the partnership. Partnership is an organization where there is an association of two or more persons coming together to carry on a business with a view to share the profit and losses of the firm. This association means group of two or more persons who agrees to share the profit and losses of the business, which is carried on by all because all are the joint owner and joint manager of the firm. Definition as per the Indian Partnership Act 1932 Section 4 defines that partnership is a relationship between the person who agreed to share the profit of the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. It is a relationship. To have the relationship, there should be the mutual understanding. Through the mutual understanding, person who comes together, they will prepare the agreement with the certain terms and conditions related how to manage the business of the partnership in the future for a long period of time. So through the agreement they comes into the relationship. In that they will decide how they are going to share the profit and losses of the business carried on by all, any one of them, as all are bringing the capital, all are the owner of the partnership, and all have a right to manage the business of the partnership firm. But some partners may not be interested in the participating in the day-to-day activities of the partnership firm. In that case, they will delegate their right to manage to the partner who is really interested to run the business of the partnership firm. For example, A, B, C, three partners are there. Suppose B is interested to run the business, but the A and C is not interested to run the business, but they are only interested in the profit. They have brought the capital also. So B is going to run the business on the behalf of A and C, who delegated their rights to management to the B. So B is known as the acting partner or active partner, and or he also known as the working partner. whereas the A and C go as a sleeping partner or the dormant partner who delegate their right and not going to participate in the business of the partnership firm. According to the Professor Hindi, the partnership is a relationship existing between the person competent to make the contract who agree to carry on a lawful business in a common with a view to earn the private gains. Again the term comes relation. Relation means there should be the agreement. An agreement is prepared by the competent person, means those who are in the sound mind, they can only enter into the contract and they run the business which is lawful in the nature. Lawful business means which is permitted by the Indian government, both the that is the state government or a central government, they have taken the permission. With the permission they are running the business, that is known as the lawful business. Common with a view to earn the profit. So each and every business organization is started to earn the profit. So their aim and motive is to earn the profit. Now the features of the partnership firm. Agreement. Partnership is a result of the agreement between the partners. As for the both meaning as well as the definition, relationship was the important. And to have the relationship among the partners, there should be the agreement. Agreement can be the oral agreement or a written agreement. It is preferred that there should be the written agreement between the partners so that it is useful as a proof in the court of law whenever there is a dispute arises among the partners in the future. So whatever written agreement is prepared by the partnership partners, that is known as the partnership deed. So partnership deed is nothing but the written agreement prepared by the partners to run the business, that is known as the partnership deed. Number of partners. Minimum 2 partners are needed to start the business and maximums are required as a 50 according to the Companies Act 2013 amended in the 2014. Why it is a Companies Act? Because the partnership comes under the privatization. So it is considered as it has to follow the rules and regulation of the Companies Act 2013. So as per that, there are the 50 members, maximum 50 members are there for the partnership firm. They cannot admit the more than the 50. Limit is up to the 50. Local business. The business undertaken by the partnership firm should be the lawful. It cannot be undertake the business which is not allowed by the state. Here it is given the state, but it can be to both state government, central government, or you can say that the business which is not permitted by the Indian government, it cannot be started by the partners. So definition of the partnership also doesn't permit any illegal business, that is which is not permitted by the government of India. Sharing of profit and losses. All the partners are contributing the capital, so all have a right to share the profit of the business. Their main aim is to earn the maximum amount of the profit. That is why they have started the partnership firm. So ratio or proportion in which they are going to share the profit is definitely given in the agreement. That agreement is a partnership deed. In case if nothing is mentioned in the partnership deed, then they will share the profit and losses equally. Joint ownership and the management. Each partner contributes the capital, that is why they are the owner of the partnership firm. They are jointly manage the business of the partnership firm because they all have contributed the capital. So they are the joint owner of the property of the firm. So nobody can make the use of the property of the partnership firm for the personal use. And all are jointly the manager of the partnership firm. So all have an equal right to participate in the management of the partnership firm. Again, it depends upon the will. If the partner is not interested to participate in the management, they can delegate their rights to the other partners. Other partners will work on the behalf of them. And that partner is known as the active partner, working partner. Those who delegated their rights, they are known as the sleeping partner or a dormant partner. Unlimited liability. Liabilities of the partner is unlimited, joint and the several. That is, the partners are liable till the last rupee in their pocket. That means whenever the business is going to close down, that is the wind up of the business or business comes to the resolution, it is compulsory as per the Indian Partnership Act 1932. All the partner has to make the payment of the debt or a liability to the outsider. First of all, to make the payment of the debt, they have to sell the business property, then they have to sell the private property. If the business property is not sufficient, then only they have to sell the private property. If the business property is sufficient to make the payment of the debt, then in that case there is no need to sell the private property. But in case if the business property is not sufficient to make the payment of the debt, then they have to sell the private property, but they have to compulsory make the payment of the debt. It is the meaning for the unlimited. All partners are jointly owner of the business, so all are jointly liable to make the payment of the liability. That is the meaning for the joint. And the several, in case if the one partner has sold his business property as well as the personal property, then also still he has to make the payment of the debt, but he is not having the amount to make the payment. That partner is declared as the insolvent party. The partner who is not able to make the payment of the debt after selling the business property and the personal property, that partner is considered as the insolvent partner. And the liabilities of the insolvent partner is to be paid by the solvent partners depending upon the profit sharing ratio or the ratio which is specified in the Indian partnership, no, in the partnership deed. So, for example, A, B, C, three partners are there. In that case, the C declared the insolvent. C has sold his business property, his personal property. Still, he has to make the payment of 30,000 to the outsider. In that case, whatever amount is due, that is 30,000 due, is paid by the A and B in the profit sharing ratio or ratio which is decided by the partnership deed. Registration of the partnership form is a compulsory. Only in the state of Maharashtra, it is a registration of the partnership is compulsory only in the state of Maharashtra with effect from the 1st April 2005. According to the Indian Partnership Act 1932, the registration of the partnership is optional. Optional means if the partner wants to register the firm, they can easily do the registration in the register of the Partnership Act 1932. And if they doesn't want to register, then there is no need to register. If they register under that process, only the name of the partnership firm is entered into the register of the registrar, and they will get the certificate of the registration from the registrar. The next one is the principal and agent. Each partner works in a twofold capacity. Twofold capacity means each partner is one particular period of time. One party can be the principal and he can be the agent. For example, A and B are the partners. Suppose B goes to the outside party to bring the contract or a business for the partnership firm. So A is in the partnership firm and B is the outside the partnership firm and dealing with the third party. So when the B is dealing with the third party, the B is considered as the principal to the third party and B is representing the A also to the third party. That is why the B is considered as the agent for the A. So B is the principal for the third party. Simultaneously, the B is the agent of the A. That is why the relationship between the partner is the principal and agent. Resolution. The partnership firm can be dissolved through the agreement between the partners. If they want to close down the business, they can serve the 14 days notice to the remaining partners and they will close down the business. In partnership firm can be dissolved automatically when the partner dies, retires, becomes insolvent, and suffering from the lunacy in case of the less number of the partners. Now we will move further to the partnership deed. The document that containing the partnership agreement among the partners is called the partnership deed. It contains the terms and conditions which are agreed upon by the partners, and agreement may be written or oral, but it is always written, and when it is written it is called the partnership deed. Partnership Act doesn't make it compulsory to have the written agreement. However, in case of the dispute among the partner, it is always best to have the written agreement duly signed by all the partners and registered under the Act of the Partnership. Registered under the Act, partnership deed contains the rules and regulation for the internal management of the firm. It is an articles of association. It means that the partnership deed is nothing but the written agreement between the partners. It can be Partnership Act doesn't provide that. Partnership Act 1932 doesn't provide that the agreement between the parties is always the written. It can be the oral or it can be the written. But it is most preferable to have the written agreement to settle the dispute among the partners in the court of law in the future. So written agreement, that is the partnership deed, can be provided as a proof in the court of law for the settlement of the dispute between the parties. It is in this, the partners will decide themselves the rules and regulations, how they are going to manage the business with the help of the rules and regulation, terms and conditions in the future, the business of the partnership firm. So it is considered as the articles of the partnership because it mainly specifies the rules and regulations by which the partners are going to manage the business of the partnership firm. Let us study about the certain consent of the partnership, content of the partnership firm. First one is the name and address of the firm and its main business. Second is the name and address of all the partners and duration of the partnership firm. Duration of the partnership is there is no need to specify. In case if the partnership is for a particular period of time, then only we have to specify the duration of the partnership, capital contribution by the partners, whether the partners are going to bring the equal capital, that is all are going to contribute the equal amount, or they are going to contribute the capital as per their wish, that is specified in the partnership deed. Ratio in which the profit and losses are to be shared, rights, duties, liabilities of the partner, provisions related to the admission, retirement and death of the partner, rate of interest on capital, loan and drawings, salary, commission is payable to the partners. Salary and commission is normally payable to the working partner or partner who increase the business of the partnership firm. If the partnership deed specify, then only we have to pay. If partnership deed doesn't specify, then there is no need to pay. Settlement of the account on the resolution, how to settle the account at the time of winding up, how to sell the assets, how to make the payment of the liabilities, all the things is to be decided in the advance so that at the time of resolution it is easy to follow that procedure and make the settlement of the account. Methods of settlement of the dispute among the partners, how the disputes among the partners in the future can be settled with mention or prepared by the partners in advance through the partnership deed. Any other matter related to the conduct of the business, whatever the partners feel better, either the terms and conditions or the rules and regulations for the partnership firm's business, they can specify in the partnership deed. Provision for the Indian Partnership Act 1932. What is given the provision? They are not the rules, but certain regulations the Indian Partnership Act 1932 specify. In case if the partnership deed is a silent, then the certain provision of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 we have to follow. We means partner has to follow. Distribution of the profit. The partnership deed is a silent. How to share the profit? And the profit is to be shared equally by the partner. Interest on the drawing. Drawing is something withdrawn by the partners for the personal use from the business. The date on which it is withdrawn, if it is specified, then the interest is to be provided as per that date. But suppose the date is not given for the drawings, then in that case 6 months interest is to be provided on the drawings. Interest on the partner's loan. Partner's loan is some additional amount contributed by the partner beside the capital. Additional amount is given to the firm because the firm was in a need for the fund, that is the partner's loan. On the partner's loan, if the rate at which the interest is to be provided is not specified in the partnership deed, then at the rate of 6% per annum, that is for the 12 months, the partnership has to provide the interest. Interest on the capital. Interest on the capital is provided in case if the partnership deed specifies at rate at which the interest is to be provided on the partner capital. It doesn't specify, then there is no need to provide the interest on the capital. Salary or commission to the partner. Salary and commission, no provision has been made as per the Indian Partnership Act. If it is given in the partnership deed for the working partner as well as the partners, with the efforts of whom the business of the partnership increase, then only the salary or commission is given to the partners. But if the partnership deed is also silent, then in that case no salary, no commission is payable to the partners. Admission of a new partner. New partner is basically admitted for the two reasons. First is for the requirement of the capital and second for the managerial skill. As per that, if no person can be admitted unless and until the consent of all the partners has been taken. If the consent is not, consent means the permission. Permission should be taken from all the partners for admitting the new partner. If all the partner agrees, then only the new partner can be admitted into the partnership firm. Methods of capital. There are the two types of method. Methods of capital means the way in which the partners are going to maintain their capital account. That is known as the methods of capital account. There are the two methods, fixed capital method and the fluctuating capital method. Capital accounts and the current account falls under the capital method. and capital account falls under the fluctuating capital method. Now fixed capital method. In case of the fixed capital method, amount of the capital of the partner remains the same at the end of the financial year. That means whatever capital was there at the beginning of the year, it is same carried down at the end of the year. There is no change in the opening capital and the closing capital. That capital is known as the fixed capital. As the capital is the fixed, so transaction between the partners and the partnership firm is to be recorded in the separate account known as the partner's current account. Why there is a need to prepare the partner's current account? Because the capital becomes the fixed. We cannot make any changes in the partner's capital. So whatever transactions are there between the partners and partnership firm is to be recorded in the separate account called as the partner's current account. That is why under the fixed capital account we need to open the two accounts for the partners. First is the partner's capital account and second one is the partner's current account. Fluctuating capital method. In case of the fluctuating capital method, the capital balances changes every year. So we can make easily changes in the partner's capital. As we can make the changes in the partner's capital easily, in that case there is no need to prepare the separate account for the partner, that is the partner's current account. The transaction between the partners and partnership firm, it can be easily recorded in the partner's capital account because the capital is a fluctuating capital. In an earlier case where the capital was fixed, in that case the transaction between the partners and partnership firm are separately recorded in the account called the current account, but this time then we can make the changes in the partner's capital account, so there is no need to prepare the separate account for that. The few transactions which are recorded in the capital accounts are initial opening capital, additional capital brought by the partner, salary commission paid to the partner, interest on the capital, interest on the drawings, returns by the partner, that is the drawings, division of the profit and loss of the partner. These all transactions are recorded in the partner's capital account when the fluctuating capital method is followed by the partnership firm. Journal entries in case of the fixed capital method and the fluctuating capital method. Fixed capital means the capital remains the fixed, so we have to operate the current account. The fluctuating capital means capital can be changed, so there is no need to prepare the current account. So whenever the word current account is given, that means the fixed capital method is going on, and wherever the capital account is given, it means the fluctuating capital method is going on. Fixed capital method and the fluctuating capital method, both are the different from each other. In case of the fixed capital method, separate account is opened, current account. Fluctuating capital method, only the one account, that is a capital account. Both the accounts are related to the partners. So partners accounts are partners capital account or partners current account. Now we are going to study about the transaction between the partnership firm and the partners. Partnership firm is having the artificial identity and partners are having the natural identity. Both are dealing with each other. So there may be a transaction between the partners and partnership firm. So how we are going to record the transaction between the partners and partnership firm. So for a partnership firm, there are the two accounts, trading account and the profit and loss account, and one statement, that is the balance sheet, that is related to the firm. And for the partners, there is an account called the current account. If the method is the fixed capital method, or capital account in case of the fluctuating capital method. So for a partners, two accounts are there with the option current account or a capital account, but the firm is having the two accounts, trading account, profit and loss account, and statement, balance sheet. Trading account is mainly used to record the transaction related to the goods. So normally in this case we are not going to make the use of the trading account, but definitely we are going to make the use of the profit and loss account as it is the account of the firm. So let us begin with the transaction or journal entries for the various transactions. Interest allowed on the partner's capital. Now the interest allowed. Now interest allowed on the capital. Capital is brought by the partners given to the partnership firm to run the business. So partners amount is used by the partnership firm. So interest is to be paid by the partnership firm to the partners. So for a partnership firm it is the expense, so they are going to write in the debit side, and for a partners it is the income, so they are going to write on the credit side. As for the nominal account rule, debit all expense and credit all income. So interest on capital account is a debit because it is the expense, and partners capital account is a credit because it is the income. Then the interest on the capital is actually the expense of the firm. So it is to be transferred to the firm's account, that is to the profit and loss account, on which side debit side because it is the expense. So profit and loss account debit to interest on capital account. You can see that the interest on capital is a debit and interest on capital is a credit. So debit credit get cancelled and the final account left is profit and loss account debit to partners capital or partners current account. Next, salary or commission allowed to the partner. Now salary and commission is given for the special work done by the partners. So salary and commission again is given by the partnership firm and the partner. So for a firm it is the expense and for a partner it is the income. Salary commission account debit means the expense, and partner's current and capital account credit because it is the income for the partner. Now that expense belongs to the partnership firm, so it will go to the firm's account, profit and loss account debit to salary and commission. I hope that these two general entries are clear to everyone. Next one is the cash of goods taken over by the partners for their personal use. Whenever anything is returned by the partners for their personal use is considered as a drawings. Drawings means the partners are receiving something, so they are the receiver of the drawings, so their account is to be, drawings account is to be debited, and the cash and goods are going out, so cash and goods account is to be credited. So drawing is a debited because the partners are really receiver. Now you can see the changes in the second entry that the partners capital and current account debit. Why debit? Because they are the receiver of the cash and goods, and the drawing it has gone to the drawing account. The drawing account we are supposed to close because it is because of the partner. So final answer remains as the partners current or capital account debit to cash or bank account. Cash is going out, goods are going out, and the partners are receiver of that. So answer is partners current account to capital account debit to cash or goods account, drawings account debit and drawings account credit will get cancelled. Interest charge on the drawings of the partners. Partners current account, interest charge on the drawings of the partner. Now the drawing is something returned by the partners for the personal use from the business. Now this time the partners will give the interest to the partnership firm. So we have to make clear that this is the expense for the partners and income for the partnership firm. So expense for the partners. So partners account is the partner's capital or current account. Expense that is by debited, and for a firm it is the income. So profit and loss account is to be credited. Simple answer for the interest on the drawing is partners capital or current account debit to profit and loss account. Profit and loss belongs to the firm. So firm account is to be credited because it is the income. Let's see what is given. Partners current account debit to interest on drawings. Interest on drawing is the income. In that income then we will transfer to the profit and loss account on the credit side. So you can see that the interest on the drawing credit and interest on the drawing debit will get cancelled. So final answer remains the partners capital or current account debit because it is expense to profit and loss account because it is the income for the firm. Now the net loss and the net profit. When we close the partnership final account, in that case when we reach to the profit and loss account we will get the net profit or a net loss. Partners may suffer from the net profit. Net profit is the income of the partners and not of the partnership firm. Net profit is the income of the partner and not the partnership firm. So for a partner it is the income, so it is to be credited to the partner's capital account, and it is a transfer from the profit and loss account. It is not the loss, it is transferred. Where it was in a partner's profit. It was in a profit and loss account. Now we will transfer from the profit and loss account to the partners because it belongs to the partners. So answer is profit and loss account debit to partners current or capital account. Now the distribution of the loss. Loss is something which is bear by the partners. So it is to be debited as per the nominal account rule. Debit all expense and losses. So partners current account and capital account debit to profit and loss account, being the loss is adjusted to the partner's capital and current account. I hope that up to here it is clear to you. Now we can see the pro forma for the partner's capital account. You can see that under the fixed capital method, you can see that the balance brought down is given, that is the opening balance. If additional capital is brought by the partner, that we have to include, or any asset he has brought for the capital. Only thing what we have added in this capital. One is the cash brought for the additional capital and second one is the asset brought for the capital. And then we have to close down the partners capital account. There is a no transaction recorded between the partners and partnership firm. This method is a fixed capital method. Thank you so much for this. So next we will continue with the further. Now we will go to the pro forma for the partner's current account. Yes, the change we can't make the changes in the current account. You can see that the X is the partner 1, Y is the partner 2, X is the partner 1, Y is the partner 2. Debit is given on the left hand side and credit is given on the right hand side. First of all, we have to write down the balance brought down. Normally, the balance brought down should be on the credit side because it is a current account. Then interest on the capital is the income, so it is a credited. Salary commission is the income, so it is a credited. Profit and loss account profit is the income, so it is a credited. If you remember in this way, it is easy to write what is to be credited, whatever is the income for the partners. Interest on capital is the income for the partners, so it is a credited. Salary and commission is the income for the partners, so it is a credited. Profit and loss, profit is the income, so it is a credited to the partner's current account. Now, what we have to debit here? Debit we have to do the drawings because we have received interest on the drawings we have paid to the partnership firm, so expense is debited. Profit and loss in the bracket loss. We suffer from the loss that definitely we have to bear. That is why it is debited and then we have to find out balance brought down or carried down. Now we can see the effects in the profit and loss account. Profit and loss account belongs to the partnership firms. Interest on capital is a expense, so debited for the firm. Salary given to the partners, expense debited. Commission to the partners, paid, debited. So what we received? What we received means what the partnership received. Interest on the drawing, that is the income, so it is to be credited. Now see the fluctuating capital method. In case of the fluctuating capital, all the things are recorded in the one account. For example, you can see that balance brought down, cash, additional one, assets, additional capital, interest on capital is the income, salary to the partner is the income, profit is the income, so credited. Simultaneously, you can see that the drawing is a loss. It is the drawing is a receiver, that is why debited. Interest on the drawing is the expense, debited. Profit and loss account loss, debited, and then we are going to close down the business. You can see that for the partner's capital and current account, we are having two columns for the two partner X and Y. All the transactions of X are recorded in the X column, Y's are recorded in the Y's column. So here we can stop up to here. Thank you so much for bearing with me.